So here we are, part two of plan your trade and trade your plan type video. And I mean, I'm not trying to influence you in what you do. I'm just trying to open your eyes to what some other people do, me for example, and just try and keep things as simple and as thoughtful, if you like, and unrushed, unpanicked. Just planning the, take the trade, what you see on the charts. Don't think about the fundamentals, don't think about anything, just what you see on the charts. So let's get this party started, as they say. So let's get some levels. I like the look of the long euro for a long time now, or when it started showing some green months, because what do we know about price? If it gets broken, it tends to have to go back and test it. That's all down to market profile and such like. So here we have some massive support levels, and let's draw them on. That one I was looking at this over the weekend, but I've looked at it sort of fleetingly for quite a while. So slap a level on there. That's likely to get tested somewhere along the line. Another level here. And I mean, I just dissed fundamentals, as it were, but we've got in the UK, we've got the EU referendum coming up. So what I think is probably going to happen is they'll push the EU up and then just use the news to just thrash it about like nobody's business. Same will go for the pound, yen, and any other pound currencies. So looking forward to quite a volatile time. Certainly no way you can sort of use the fundamentals to assume the price will go one way or the other. We just have to trade what we see on the charts. But I wouldn't be surprised if at some stage these levels might get tested. But as we know, looking at this, we could have said exactly the same thing around here. Oh yes, there's loads of room to these levels of support here to be tested as resistance. And what's it done? It's for last year, really. It's just moseyed on down to a support, and then it's creeping on up to test resistance, and ultimately if it breaks through there and closes, then on up further. But never assume anything with trading. That's why every morning get up with a clean chart. That's what I meant earlier by the clean chart, and just refresh my memory as to what's going on. These aren't really in the CCIs don't come into any sort of real worthwhile value on these higher time frames. Obviously when you go across from green to red, then you can match that up, but hindsight is a fabulous tool. So what else would I do? So then I'll drop down to the ultimately I think this is probably going to come up somewhere around here if it ever breaks through, but then it's got to get through that monthly high resistance level there as well. So it looks scary, all these lines on here, but as you move through the time frames, they'll become virtually invisible, because we trade the 5 minute, or I trade the 5 minute, and that's it's just nice to have an idea of what might happen should those levels get broken. You might say, well, why don't you leave them on there? But that's not how I trade, and that's the whole point of this this video, to be honest with you. Just it's sort of like a mantra or a affirmation type thing, excuse me, every morning, just to clear my head, clear my mind, and sort out what's going on. So we can put a weekly level on top of there. We can have a weekly level on top of that one. And then we can move to the dailies, and what I want to see is over on this left hand side. Obviously we can't see that, same as we could see on the weekly and monthly, so we'd scroll over and look at what is interesting on here. Well, there's a daily high that the price would have had to have got through at some stage. So on a 5 minute chart it might just close up through there, on an hourly chart or something, and pop back, and so that's how I use that. Then we've got another resistance level there. Oh, I didn't want that on there. Excuse me. And that's all that's interesting on that, to be honest with you. And as you can see, look what's happened. my long trade has gone broken through these daily highs and has just tested that high to the almost to the pip, I think. Let's have a look. It generally stops about a pip short of it. High is 6159 and we're up at 621, so yeah, it's not tested it yet, so it's got every chance of going back up to test that, I should think, this morning. But that's not what I'm worried about. So there's my plan. And then if we get down to the lower time frames, what I like to start doing from H4 is just now using this. Remember I said in the first video of the set, the cup, I like to see the cup. Well, when that moved above that high there's your cup. You can see this would have been the next candle going. So let's put a reminder of what should happen on that one, which is, yeah, so that's the important candle, the closing candle there. So at the open of that candle, that's where it started to rise, and look how that did exactly what we thought it, or I see that it should do. So there, that's a whole 4 hours worth of green pips in the bank, as it were. But I wasn't there, I only trade at 5 in the morning, so but it's given me an idea. You know, all this is telling me is 2 pullback candles. So H1, I want to see if I can find a cup on H1. Well, here we are, all this morning running up to 5 AM when I start. I've got a falling H1 slow CCI. I want to see a rise just like with that one. There it is there. So at this point here, oh sorry, I've written, this point here is where I'm starting to think I want to get a long, because that CCI is higher than that CCI there. So again, we're well into my 6-7 o'clock trading times now. What happened this morning that threw a bit of a spanner in the works was a Aussie news, as I said in the previous video, and I just had to wait around for the markets to calm down and just follow my rules. I'm constantly, what I don't want to be doing is trading against a falling set of CCIs. So I really want to see some sort of movement right down to the 15-minute chart that's telling me that something is interesting has happened. So at this point in the game, I've still got resistance levels ahead of me, so I want to be drawing those on starting from the H1. So I know I've got to bust through that level there. So as you can see, this is 5, 6 AM, 7 AM, 8 AM. So at that point there, it was looking interesting. So once again, we're here. We've got our rise. So that's it. This is the plan. This is how you want to approach the charts. Don't panic. Don't rush. I've done it all before. In all the years I've been doing this, I've rushed and panicked and regretted it because I've not taken, you know, not allowed it to pull back before I enter and get drawdown and so on and so forth. But and then the 15-minute, we can see we started, the cup started at this stage here. There was a little sort of false alarm there, but that was that Aussie news that we talked about, 5:30. So here we've got the cup start to rise, and we're through that H1 high, which I'd marked out. I knew I only want to be going long, as I said before, because of my MA on the other charts, and there we are. So this now, I think this will pull back. We might have once, I didn't mention this, but this is your oversold signal as well. So I do take that into account when it's not just the cup. So this pulls back, which is what it's done, and then you know, well, you don't know, but just take it from the higher time frames. But all I'm suggesting you do is get your CCI 8 indicator on there, get your CCI 80 indicator on there, and then get yourself your levels drawn on, the support and resistance, starting on the highest time frames. If you pull down, you'll see that daily high up there that I'm expecting it to touch today, and then this probably now we're at 9:30 in the morning. This might well do a bit of oversold stuff. Excuse me, because I'm always aware that this this is very, very over bought now. Sorry, I think I said oversold, I meant overbought, excuse me. So this could well be for a long-term pullback, ready for the American session to open, which is precisely why I don't want to be trading at this point. I'm not trying to pick highs or pick lows, I'm just trying to get in on the trend, which is what I'm trying to explain. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, and I will be producing more and more videos as time goes by, just really because it helps me to be focused, really. That's simple as that. I will be doing some sort of before and update videos, so I will be sort of taking the trade live, as it were, on video, and then following all the rules that I've just described in this one, and then showing the end results. Probably anything I can do that would make you follow this channel and hopefully gain some worthwhile stuff from my 10 years of experience. Thank you for watching. Speak to you again soon.